Hi viewers, and welcome back to the channel. We really appreciate you watching these videos and liking and subscribing. So for today we are going to look at the African Free Trade Agreement, which was signed not too long ago, and many people believe this is the turning point for economies across the African continent and businesses across the African continent, because Africa in general deals more with people outside the continent than they do within the continent. As much as some see it as an opportunity for businesses to grow within Africa, others also see it as a threat to their businesses because, for example, if you're in a country where you sell a particular product which is slightly more expensive, someone from a neighboring country could come sell a similar product, the same product or a substitute at a much cheaper price, which could cripple your business. So today's discussion, we are going to look at the agreement as a whole and just talk through it and garner the different thought processes on it and see how, as business owners, as individuals on and outside the continent, we can take advantage of this. So let's begin. So the African Free Trade Agreement is intended to encourage free movement of goods and people, and that obviously deals with services, etc. And it was signed among African nations primarily to help boost businesses and economies across Africa, as Africa on its own exports and imports or does business primarily with those outside of the continent. I believe we are the only continent that does that, in quote. Number one, in terms of a lot of money goes out of the continent. So this agreement is intended to encourage trading among individuals and organizations and institutions within the continent. Now, to do this, the agreement seeks to eliminate tariffs on goods, and this is estimated to affect close to 90% or more of goods that are transported from country to country across the continent. As we know, the continent constitutes or is made up of about 1.3 billion people with a combined GDP of $2.5 trillion, and trading will be done within this single market, hopefully with the hope of it becoming one of the world's largest single markets at nearly a duty-free rate. Then, according to the World Bank estimations, this is expected to increase Africa's income by more than $450 billion within the next 20 years. And Africa's manufacturing exports will get, is estimated to get about $560 billion, especially for the manufacturing sector. And also, this agreement is expected to lift about 30 million Africans out of extreme poverty. Obviously, these are all estimations and anticipations and projections, but just to give us an idea of what this agreement seeks to achieve. Now, with regards to the advantages and disadvantages of this, there are a lot of arguments out there. Now, by creating this agreement, literally create competition between industries across the continent, which more or less provide the same goods and services. And competition, as we've seen historically, is often a good thing, though people discourage competition. Competition, as we've seen in the past, encourages innovation, it encourages creativity. For consumers is almost perfect, as in it more often than not improves the quality of products while at the same time reducing the cost of the products or services that may be offered, unless it's for a niche market, and even that has its impacts. Now, what this means for businesses across the continent is, for example, say I'm doing business in Kenya, Rwanda, I'm into services, tech, IT, etc. I sell goods and services. I'm not limited to Kenya. Now I can do business with people in Nigeria and Ghana and South Africa. It allows us as business owners to broaden the scope of doing business, and I generally believe that this will encourage partnerships between companies and individuals across the continent, and hopefully move us in an upward spiral in relation to the economy, the quality of products and services we provide, and the goods we produce. Because it's more often than not, we always hear people talk about how Africa is blessed with natural resources, but we there's growth, and I generally believe that this agreement is the next step to moving the continent in the right direction in terms of economies and infrastructure. Now, a lot of people are against, some people, not a lot of people, some people are against this because they feel it's going to cripple their businesses. For example, say I sell an item in say Ghana, and someone in Togo sells the same item. Obviously, their taxes and things have an effect on the cost of the items in that country. So say it's cheaper in Togo and he crosses the border and he's still cheaper. He has an advantage over me, who is in Ghana selling the product. So people are afraid that competition is going to cripple their businesses. There's also the fear that the new structures and systems intended at speeding up the intra-African border crossing activities is going to be made a little more lenient, and that may encourage a lot of illegal activities across the continent. And that's what one argument a lot of people have when it comes to this agreement. Overall, as business owners in Africa or people who live in Africa, this is my view. I believe that we should see this as an opportunity to do business with people in other countries across the continent and try to learn from each other and form partnerships and synergize more or less, and also look for opportunities to make good use of resources that we may find in our country that is not available, say in the next country, or maybe countries away. And it's important for us to see this as an opportunity and try to take advantage of this from an economic, entrepreneurial, business standpoint, and even an infrastructural standpoint, an intellectual standpoint, to learn from each other and hopefully move the continent forward. And in relation to economics and infrastructure.